A Guide to MGTOW for Women. One of the recurring themes on Men Going Their Own Way, or MGTOW, channels I've noticed is women, both from inside and outside the big tent of the feminist enterprise, and the even bigger but less obvious tent of gynocentrism, showing up with their Speaking as a Woman card to criticize and question the legitimacy of MGTOW. This MGTOW criticism from Speaking as a Woman has become so common that it's almost its own genre. And it's clear that these critics, speaking as a woman, whether in support or in opposition to the phenomenon of men going their own way, lack some basic understanding of the MGTOW phenomena. And it is this misunderstanding which this short guide is aimed at correcting. Men going their own way is a worldwide phenomenon comprised of men who recognize that women possess power of control over social narrative, and also have no compunction about using this power to casually use or abuse or destroy men based on nothing but personal whim. MGTOW practitioners also recognize that women engaged in violent, psychopathic, or even murderous behavior typically face little to no substantial consequence. Indeed, MGTOW practitioners are further aware that even pointing out these facts will earn men simply protecting themselves a torrent of accusations, including, but not limited to, them being creeps, violent, woman-hating misogynists, rape apologists, and more. And informed by this awareness, MGTOW, Men Going Their Own Way, in its modern form, is men all over the world opting out of gynocentric conventions like marriage and dating, and avoiding many forms of what would be considered normal or conventional association with women. Women are increasingly being recognized as toxic and being consequently avoided by men. And many, if not most, of such men going their own way have little or no awareness that they are even a part of a growing social phenomenon, nor any awareness of the label that we are using here, abbreviated as MGTOW. But we come now to a couple of the misconceptions surrounding MGTOW. Those practicing their own paths of MGTOW do not need or want women's approval, their understanding, or their support. Conversely, practitioners of MGTOW also don't care at all about women's disapproval or condemnation. One of the features of men going their own way practice is a disconnection from our society's normal convention in which men's identities, whether positive or negative, are dependent on feminine consensus. MGTOW men define their own identities and their own sense of value, and female approval or disapproval is of no consequence or interest. In fact, feminine approval and support of MGTOW is explicitly not welcome, as it leads so easily back into the old, socially conventional mode of supplied male identity through feminine approval. That some women approve of and do support MGTOW is a fact, and the men self-identifying as such are not seeking to silence that approval, but neither are they interested in the offered support. A second visible misconception is that MGTOW men are interested in persuasion of wider society to a MGTOW philosophy. MGTOW practicing men are not going to save society from disillusion, or from economic collapse, or a fall into chaos. MGTOW is a fundamentally individualistic phenomenon. Men practicing it are doing so out of rejection of hazard and out of self-determination. MGTOW men are indeed beasts of the jungle, and they know better than to disregard the nature of other animals or the society of other animals. Thirdly, while MGTOW is not a movement in a conventional sense, it is a social phenomenon. And while only a tiny fraction of men practicing the path of going their own way have awareness of the label or the wider social phenomenon, those few whose practice includes public discussion of MGTOW are aware of ongoing efforts by feminists, by traditionalists, and even by some so-called men's rights activists to co-opt and to subvert MGTOW identity for their own agendas, and public MGTOW commentators regard such would-be co-opters as exploitative, amoral filth to be disrupted at every opportunity. And finally, while this point, the last point, has been already addressed, it bears repeating that due to the persistent climate of either real or willful ignorance, men practicing MGTOW owe women no explanation. They owe no service. They owe no protection, nor payment, nor provision, nor deference, nor sacrifice to women. Women are not special. They are, just like all other animals, simply feces-producing slabs of animate meat. This has been a MGTOW explanation for women. Thank you all for your very kind attention, and have a lovely day.